But the significance, back to your question about the significance of the resurrection, you know, it says something about the character and the heart of God.
Yeah.
So again, this is something that God has been doing throughout human history, is that we are born in the knowledge of both good and evil. All of us fall. At some point, all of us stray away. We go our own way rather than God's way. And that's the problem of the world. That's the thing we hate about the world. But from the very beginning, so all the way back in Genesis chapter 12, God says to Abraham and Sarah, I'm going to raise up a nation out of you. And it was the Jewish nation. Also, the Arab nation also came from Abraham and Sarah. I'm going to bless you to be a blessing to all nations. Okay, so we're talking 4,000 years ago, God intervenes in human history to say, I'm going to do something to bless all nations. And what was he doing? Well, he was creating this nation with all their peculiar laws and idiosyncrasies to protect what he was doing, which I believe is revealing through the prophets his will, his words, his history. And we have that today. It's unbelievable how, there's so many reasons to believe God actually inspired this.
Yeah.
He was doing something throughout history. I've given you some of them just in the prophecies.
Right.
But also Jesus said that, of much of it, he said, don't think I've come to abolish the law and the prophets, which is the sum of the whole Old Testament. He said, no, I've come to fulfill it. And not a single word, not a jot or tittle, which is like a dot of the I or a cross of the T, will be done away with until all of it's fulfilled. So God was doing something from the beginning of human history for all nations. And Jesus, when he then comes in fulfillment of all these prophecies we've talked about, after the resurrection, appears to the disciples and he says, all these things that I've been teaching you, this was pointing toward this fulfillment. He said he opened their minds to see how all the scriptures of old were pointing toward him. And he said, go and tell it to all the nations, there's forgiveness in my name.